Hey guys, before I get started on this review, I just want to take a quick second to just really quickly, not personally, I'm not going to shout out anyone's name here, but I just want to thank you all so much for requesting and liking and basically requesting this movie review. So moving on, I just wanted to quickly do that and say thank you so much. Seriously, I really appreciate it. And here's my review for Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island 2020 synopsis. A horror adaptation of the popular 70s TV show about a magical island resort. Hey everyone, and welcome to my new movie review for Fantasy Island. Fantasy Island came out here in Australia 2020. It's directed by Jeff Whitelow. It's rated M and the duration is 1 hour and 50 minutes. It's an adventure, comedy, horror, and the cast of Fantasy Island is Lucy Hale as Melanie Cole, Maggie Q as Gwen Olsen, Charlotte McKinney as Chastity, Portia Doubleday as Stallone, Michael Pena as Mr. Rourke, Parisa Fitz-Henley as Julia, Michael Rooker as Damon, Ryan Damon as JD Weaver, Austin Stoller as Patrick Sullivan. He's also in Dolphin Tale 1 and 2. I just wanted to let you know that because they are really beautiful movies. Moving on, last but definitely not least, JimmyO.Yang as Brax Weaver, and yes, that is JD Weaver's in this movie, his brother. Dudes, guys, everyone, seriously, I'm gonna say, guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm a little bit annoyed that I've left this long to watch this movie. I just didn't get time. I literally just didn't get time. I'm so sorry that it's taken this long for me to do it, because as I said, here in Australia, this actually came out last week. I genuinely, authentically apologize for that, but here it is. This movie is awesome. This movie is absolutely awesome. Straight off the bat, I need to say a few things, and I just wanted to get this over and done with. When the Blumhouse, I think it's Blumhouse, I think that's how you pronounce it. When the opening title of that comes up and they're doing the whole creepy visual element to it, there's a sound effect. For anyone who's been following me for any period of time, I don't do spoilers on my movie reviews, but I give you in-depth verbal details, but I don't give anything away to just really help you I try and paint a picture in your brain so that when you go and see the movie, you get it. The opening of that sequence, the sound effect that they use was sick. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. I'm not even kidding you. So the biggest reason why I put off seeing this movie is I actually heard some really bad stuff about it. Stuff what you've heard. Film is subjective. I love this film. As I said, the opening of the Blumhouse, I think it's Blumhouse, is the sound effect that they used. Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. Another thing I want to bring up, the second thing, there's a scene in this movie where the two brothers that I just mentioned, the two brothers are leaving a pool party. The joke, the comical element of this movie, the joke that the guy says to the people in the pool and their response, man, that was so funny. I kid you not, I laughed so hard at that because of what he says to them, and then they respond. Gold, absolutely gold. The brothers' jokes in this movie, in my personal opinion, landed every single time. Every joke that they made landed. Every joke that they made landed. One of the things that I loved about Michael Pena, Mr. Rourke's character in this movie, man, did I love it. Oh my gosh. The reason why I loved it so much, guys, is because it kept its consistency throughout the entire movie. It's literally kept its consistency. I don't want to tell you what it was. But it was a physicality to the element of his character, and it was so simple, so subtle, yet so effective. I'm going to tell you really, really quickly, no spoilers. At the end of this movie, there are twists. There are twists, okay? The horror element to this movie, they really, really bring the horror element movie out more than anything from literally probably about 20 minutes at the end of the film. So 20 minutes before it's about to end, that's where they really draw on the horror element of this film. It is throughout the rest of the film, but it's just sprinkled. It's really, really, really just sprinkled. The character chemistry and the character build-up, like the character outline of the story to this film is so spot on. Seriously. What you want to feel about a character, they develop. How you feel about that character, they develop. At the end, the twists and turns is so well executed. I kid you not, guys. It really, really is. Oh my gosh. One of the things that I found really, really interesting, and it's purely a height thing, and when you see the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about, is a character meets a character's relation in this film. And it's all about Fantasy Island. When you see it, you'll be like, oh, wow, that makes sense. The only thing that made me think that it was a little bit funny, not bad funny, just a little bit like, oh, that's a little bit unusual, was purely the height difference between the characters. When you see the movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And those of you who have seen the movie, the height difference, yeah, not bad. And it's funny because in context, if you actually think about it, it actually worked. But the characters looked like really, really similar age. And I was like I get where they were going from, and it actually worked. And it was like, oh, okay. I kid you not, guys. One of the things that I loved about this movie, and I enjoyed the entire film, is the two brothers. Their fantasy started first. Okay, their fantasy was straight off the bat, because when Michael Peña's character comes into it, he takes him into their fantasy. I loved the opening of their fantasy. I don't know whether it was a CGI effect, like element into their opening fantasy, or whether that was just legit. And if it was legit, like if they actually got that element, if they what you see was real, wow. Like seriously, wow. That was amazing. Man, that was amazing. Far out. Oh, guys, there's so much stuff I could tell you about this movie. I could go on and on and on. Oh my gosh, I just thoroughly loved it. One thing that really struck me, really struck me about this movie is the flow. Not once, guys, not once in this movie did I think to myself, man, this movie is dragging. They kept the pace of this movie so constant. It was so constant. It just kept unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. It really, the pacing of this movie is incredible. The acting, character chemistry between every actors is brilliant. The jokes land every single time. There's not so much suspense. I wouldn't call it suspense in this movie, but the element of a specific character and her decisions the way they unfold and how she wants to change her mind. And no spoilers, guys. I found that really, really well executed, because you think at one element of the movie, and it was in the trailer, you think, oh wow, she gets a happy ending, and that's really good. And then something else happens, and then something else happens, and it just keeps twisting, and it just, oh man, I kid you not, guys. One of the reasons why I put this movie off for so long is I'm not going to call anyone out, but I watched a review. I watched a review of this movie, guys, from someone else, and that person put this movie down hardcore. And I really, now knowing that person, and yes, all film is subjective, guys. All film is subjective. You could love something and you could hate something else. It's just all subjective. But this one person that I watched hated this movie and put it down miserably and terribly. And I really, really, really I'm so glad that I enjoyed this movie. Now, does this movie have, in my personal humble opinion, the core element, the essential core element that film need to be film in order to go back to it and watch it in 20, 40, 50 years time to say, hey, yeah, I remember that film. That was that film with this and this and this. Yeah, let's rewatch that. Does it have rewatchability? Oh my gosh, you guys. The reason why I say yes, it has rewatchability, is purely because of the twists and the turns in this film. Because of the twists and the turns and the character chemistry. Michael Pena, what? Mr. Rourke, like, are you kidding me? His execution of what he takes every character through, the way he holds himself, and as I said, he does something to the physicality of his character. It's really, 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 really simple. It's really simple. But every single time he does that, he does a movement, and it's with his hands. I'm not going to give it away. But every time he did it, I thought to myself, man, that is so consistent. It is so consistent. Oh my gosh. And one thing I have to say, this is super random, but man, that island was beautiful. It really was. That was a beautiful island. Guys, this movie is a definite, in my personal opinion, this is a must watch. It is a must watch. As I said in the synopsis, guys, it's developed from the actual TV series, and I've never seen the TV series, so I have no idea. But I'm not kidding you guys in any way, shape, or form. This is one of those films that when you watch it, you will be like, thank you, Superman Steve, you're the man. But in saying that, guys, just remember that all film is subjective. What I love and what I enjoy, you might not. And that's why you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. Go and watch film yourselves. I am a massive, passionate movie fan. I believe I have been my whole life, but I've really, the older I get, the more incredible cinema is getting, and it's just drawing me in, and it's just filling my collection with entertainment over and over again. I thoroughly enjoyed this film. For anyone who's been following me for any period of time, you guys know what time it is, because it's something that I love giving you guys, and it's so much fun, and it's something that you don't really look into really when you go to a cinema, because it's something that it's something that you have to find out later on. And guess what that is, guys? Trivia time! Principal photography on the film began in January 2019 in Fiji, which is why it's so beautiful. Next piece of trivia, guys. It was announced in July 2018 that a reimagining of the television series Fantasy Island was being developed with Blumhouse and Sony Pictures Productions. Next piece of trivia is, my friends, the movie is a reimagining of the TV series of the same name in a horror genre. Next and final piece of trivia, guys, and I will leave you with this one, guys, is Melanie Lucy Hale in Fantasy Island 2020. They actually wear the same crop tops in Truth or Dare 2018. So basically from Truth or Dare, they actually came and the same creators and stuff like that went, all right, let's do another one, and they reimagined Fantasy Island. Would I recommend this film, guys? Yes. In my humble personal opinion, I would. I genuinely, authentically, I would definitely recommend Fantasy Island if you haven't had the chance to see it. And if you have had the chance to see it, what did you think about it? Did you enjoy it as much as I did? Do you think the two brothers were absolutely hilariously funny? Did you think Michael Pena killed it? Do you think every other actor in this movie was absolutely on point, on character, brilliant? Is it Oscar worthy? No, but it's an amazing film. Really well done. For those of you who haven't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And all my subscribers, man, I value you guys so much. Seriously, I genuinely, authentically value it. Thank you for your subscription so much. And if you haven't, obviously, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're hitting that subscribe button, guys, if you do me a favor, be so kind. If you're on a mobile device, go ahead and click that bell for notifications. That way, when I drop anything, guys, it'll be yours on your devices straight away. I really value that. I appreciate it so much. Speaking of appreciation, guys, I would appreciate your feedback on my channel if you'd be so kind and leave a thumbs up on this movie review. And it gives my channel some really good context, guys, and gives it me feedback on my channel that knows that you guys are enjoying it, having a great time with it. I really appreciate that, guys. And until my next movie review, don't forget who's bringing this movie review for Fantasy Island 2020. This is Superman Steve, guys, flying out!